had a completely different video plan for today, but then I got these puppies in the mail and everyone on Instagram wanted me to review them, so here it goes. It's Shani, aka Total Makeup Junkie 101. So today I have what I'm hoping will be a relatively short, quick video on a brand new product that I Instagrammed about a week ago, and everybody wanted me to do a review on them. So I decided, you know what, let's do this. Let's jump on real quick and review the new Nars Dual Intensity Blushes. You guys all know, if you follow my channel or have been for a couple months now, that when the Nars Dual Intensity Eyeshadows came out last year, I went a little crazy. I bought them all because I wasn't expecting to. I had walked into Sephora and was like, oh, some new Nars eyeshadows. Let's swatch them. Swatch, 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 swatch. Oh my gosh, they're all amazing. They're all amazing. What do I do? What do I do? So when I found out that Nars was releasing new blushes in the same dual intensity formula, there's no shock that I got them. Nars has 6 different blush duos, I guess is what you can call them, because as you can see, you do get 2 different blushes in each of these little compacts. Each of these compacts does retail for $45 a piece, which is spendy. It's very, very expensive for a blush. But when you think about it, a normal full-size Nars blush is $30. So for about the price of 1.5 blushes, you're getting 2 different colors. So I guess when you think of it that way, it's not that bad. But of course, there's no getting around the price tag. These are an investment piece. I know that, you know that, we all know that. So this is what the blush packaging looks like. It does have the same overall layout as the eyeshadows. It is quite a bit bigger though. I don't have any of the eyeshadows here to compare for you guys because I'm currently in the process of moving. So a lot of the makeup I have is not physically here in this location. But either way, just trust me, the blush is quite a bit bigger. The eyeshadow is, you know, probably about this big. The packaging is the same. It closes with a magnet, which I think is really nice. I really, really like that feature. And then you do get a big mirror here at the top. And then this is what the blush looks like. Now, just like the dual intensity eyeshadows, you do get a really cool embossing on the blush itself. But obviously, as you use the blush, the embossing will slowly fade away. Overall, I am a fan of these blushes. Do I like them as much as the eyeshadows? No. And I will tell you guys why as I go through them, but overall the blushes are really, really good. They're pretty good quality, but they do take a little bit of getting used to. If you guys aren't familiar with the dual intensity formula that Nars has, it's very similar to the MAC in Extra Dimension formula or the Estee Lauder Powder Gelée formula, or those kinds of formulas where it's almost like a super, super, super creamy powder. These blushes, just like the eyeshadows, can be used both wet and dry. To be honest, I have never used a powder blush wet before. I just don't really see the point in that. But you can if you wanted to. Now, the thing about these blushes is the texture does take a little bit of getting used to. You have to find the right brush to use with it, and you have to find the right technique. I feel like the blushes are a little stiff in their pans. They are very pigmented when you swatch them with your fingers and such, but obviously you're not applying a powder blush with your fingers. Generally, you're probably going to use a brush, and because of the formulation of these, I feel like a brush doesn't pick up the product nicely. So that wasn't a problem with the eyeshadows because your eye area is so small, and I don't have a problem using my finger to like pack on an eyeshadow on my eyes. But it gets a little complicated when you're trying to pack on a blush with your fingers. It can get a little messy. I have tried these blushes in a lot of different ways, and I will say the best way I have found to use them is a very, very stiff, yet still kind of fluffy blush brush. The best example I could show you is this brush right here. This is a really, really inexpensive brush that I got from Walmart. It's, I believe, just a Walmart brand brush. But I love this blush brush because it's really fluffy, but it's still really, really densely packed, and the fibers are really, really soft. But when I go into the blush, I kind of have to rub back and forth a lot, almost as if I'm like scratching the surface of it, and pick up product and then distribute it on my cheeks. It isn't the most convenient way to apply blush, I will say. And I think for that reason, I don't see me reaching for these blushes all the time, but I think for a certain look, they are really nice. I have also tried the method of swatching it with my fingers, kind of tapping it on with my fingers, and then taking a fluffy blush brush and blending it out, and that works just fine too. It does take quite a bit of blending though, because when you use your fingers, you will pick up a lot of pigment, and your fingers won't blend out the pigment. It'll just plop the pigment on your cheeks. So if you want a really airbrushed, effortless looking blush, you have to blend the heck out of it after you do that. So for that reason, I still do think that a stiff, fluffy blush brush is your best option. So now I'm going to jump into an individual review and swatches of all 6 of the dual intensity blush duos that Nars released in this collection. So the first duo we have is called Fervor, and the first shade is a shimmering soft pink, and the second shade is a sparkling deep coppery rose. And I think this is a really, really pretty duo. Now the light pink is definitely not going to flatter my skin at all as a blush, but I could definitely wear that as a highlight because it does have a little bit of like a shimmery duochrome to it. But this dark coppery rose shade is just like heavenly. Next duo is called Panic, and this one has a shimmering shocking fuchsia on one side and a shimmering orange pink on the other side. Now this one I will say is probably the duo that's going to appeal to the majority of people who have a tanner or darker skin tone, because this duo has 2 very, very bold bright shades. I could easily wear either one of these shades as a blush on my skin. I actually have this bright electric fuchsia shade on my cheeks right now, and you guys can tell once it's kind of blended out and worn on the cheeks, it isn't crazy. It's very, very wearable. This next shade is called Jubilation, and on one side you have a sparkling yellow gold highlighter, and the other side is a shimmering soft nude peach. Now on my skin, I actually use this as just a highlighting duo. This peach shade is very, very shimmery, and it works as a gorgeous peachy champagne highlight on my skin. And of course, this yellow gold is just phenomenal. This is a very, very beautiful, very shimmery highlight duo. This next duo is called Adoration, and firstly you have a sparkling baby pink, and on the other side you have a shimmering hot pink. So this is like the pink duo. If you like pink blush and you just want 2 shades of pink blush, here it is. Now, once again, the lighter pink doesn't work as a blush on my skin, but it would work as a gorgeous highlight because all of these shades have some sort of slight shimmer or like a duochrome or some sort of reflect. They all work as highlights as well, and I love that. This next shade is called Craving, and on one side you have a sparkling seashell pink highlighter, and the other side is a shimmering beachy bronze. Now this one is probably going to be the duo I'm going to get the least use out of because this bronzy shade doesn't show up that well on my skin, and it isn't the right shade as a bronzer for me, nor does it work as a contour, and it's not so shimmery that it is a pronounced highlight. So it's definitely really, really understated on my skin. This highlight is still gorgeous, but I think this duo would definitely work better on light to medium skin. And then the last duo we have is called Frenzy. And one side is a sparkling soft pink gold highlighter, and the other side is a shimmering bright tangerine orange. Now this is one of my personal favorites. I think this tangerine orange blush works so well on medium to tan skin, and this like goldish, rosy, beautiful, yellowy highlight. It's just so shimmery. It's amazing. I hope that seeing all 6 of these duos up close and seeing swatches on my skin tone help you guys out. I really try to do these videos to be as helpful as possible so you guys can pick what you want to purchase for yourself. Now, one thing I do want to mention that I feel like a lot of people may not consider with these duos is if it doesn't work as a blush or a cheek product for you, remember that these are the same formulation essentially as the eyeshadow, meaning that you can 100% use any of these colors on your eyes as an eyeshadow. Now do beware if you have sensitive eyes or sensitive skin around your eye area, you may not want to use the orange or red or pink pigmented blushes in your eye area. It may cause some irritation or some issues, but I have used many of these duos, including a lot of the pink and red blushes on my eyes, and had no problems whatsoever. So definitely keep that in mind. These don't work just as cheek products, but you can also use them on your eyes. You can also use them on your lips if you want to incorporate some of these shades with a clear lip balm or a clear lip gloss to get a really pretty pink or red or glittery gold lip. You can do that as well. Makeup is meant to be played with. You can use any product absolutely anywhere on your body, so the sky is the limit. If these products don't work for you on your cheeks, use them somewhere else. No one's saying no. So that's pretty much all I have to say on these Nars Dual Intensity blushes. I do really like them, but I don't love them as much as I did the eyeshadows. My personal favorites out of the ones in the collection for just a straight up blush duo, I think Panic is the best one. It is the brightest. It is the one that has 2 very strong blush colors in it, and I think it works for all skin tones. One that I personally love as a highlighter duo because it has 2 gorgeous shades of highlight is Jubilation. Both of these shades are very different from one another. They give you 2 completely different looks on your cheeks, but they both look equally amazing. And then if you truly want 1 shade of blush and 1 shade of highlight in your blush duo, you need to check out Frenzy. This one is my favorite. It's the one with the kind of goldish color on one side and the orangey tangerine color on the other side. Very wearable for almost all skin tones, especially my skin tone. I love this one. So there you have it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys on my next video on Monday. I'll see you then. Bye. I believe they have 6 different shades of these products, and you can get them either in the tube style or overall. They're fantastic for the quality, for the price, for everything you're getting. I love them.